Afternoon, everybody. It's September 8th, around like 2 o'clock. I'm not really doing anything with my day. There's like really no set guidelines for when you're in recovery, like if you spend a lot of time, like most of your life, like choosing to be under influence of alcohol or other substance, I guess once you come to the conclusion that you don't want to do that stuff no more, like you got yourself out of dependence from it. Like you don't need it psychologically, and your body doesn't depend on it. And now you can, I guess, begin getting yourself to normal, homeostasis. But it wasn't always like this. Like for like 10, 15 years, all I did was drink and get high every day. It started out like when you're young, you get somebody older to buy you some booze. So you hanging out with your friends, and you go to the park after you play some ball. You guys drink like on a school day, school night. You drink a couple, get a nice buzz, and go home, right? Then you graduate, then you're drinking like more and more, and then like you get older, so now you're going to parties, and there's obviously alcohol parties, so everybody's drinking, and like people are smoking, and the older you get, the more sophisticated the choice of drugs become. You go into parties now and people passing out lines, And then you got the real hardcore ones who don't even go to parties. They just have a party by themselves. They like end up doing, dope and all that. But like my story was like I was always on something, but I was still doing what I had to do. Like I would wake up. If I was going to school, I would go to school. Like when I was going to high school, I lived in Queens, and I was the only kid going to high school from Queens, going to high school in the Bronx, right? So I had to wake up every morning at 5 to get to the Bronx. I would wake up and I would take 3 trains, 3 subways, and then either walk or take the bus, depending if I can catch the bus on time. But I would take 3 trains before I would get to the subway. I would smoke a joint on the way to the train or whatever, like a blunt, whatever, clip half of it for later. So I would take the M to like the F to the D so I could get off in Fordham Road in the Bronx, right? And even that early in the subways, really no one on the trains yet, so sometimes I could even smoke on the train, get away with it, you know? And then when I would get to school, I'll be there early sometimes because I don't want to be stuck in that rush hour shit with all the people. I would smoke with the security guard in the front sometimes. He let me roll blunt in the security booth. He'd be looking out, and then we just pass it back and forth. And like he was cool because if I wanted to bring in some people not from the school and like not from the campus, he let me bring people in without IDs, no problems. He knew me, so that's why I could bring in friends. We could play on the court over there, go to the use the facilities. But while I was in high school, I was still I was drinking, smoking. I was still getting good grades. I wasn't getting caught for anything, so I wasn't really labeled a troublemaker, even though I was on the low doing all this stuff. Because like my thing wasn't high school. It's kids when the weekend came. Just started around like sophomore year. Kids wanted to drink on the weekend, right? And I guess where they were from, because I was in school in the Bronx, a lot of these kids from like upstate New York, like Westchester, New Rochelle, or like Eastchester, or Crestwood, or somewhere where I'm not familiar with, Woodlawn. And for whatever reason, they couldn't get booze up in their area. They didn't have nobody to get it or had no way of getting it for them. But they wanted the party nonetheless, right? So my little thing was I had a fake ID. I had a fake ID early on when I was younger, right? And I was able to sneak off the campus because what it was a high school on the college campus. They had security guards, so they knew based on how we dressed, because we had to wear like it wasn't a uniform, but you had to like dress pants, dress shirt, and a tie. So like if they saw you leaving, they knew you was part of the high school, so you're not supposed to be leaving at this time. But I was cool with security guards, so they never really said anything to me. They never ratted me out. They never called anything in, right? So during the day, not every day, but like always Friday, right? During the week, I would take orders from people. They figure out what they want, and they give me the money for it. So like, let's say they want a bottle of Jack Daniels. Bottle of Jack Daniels back then was like 30, almost like $40. I charge you double because I'm going out getting this shit for you, right? I'm not doing this for nothing. So they give me, I make a list of who gets what, how much they get. They give me the money, and then when I had a free period, I would leave campus, go to the liquor store, which was like a good 15-minute walk away from the campus, from the school, and 15-minute walk back. So literally it took me the whole period. I go to the store, buy whatever I needed, whatever I could fit, right? Come back to school, put everything in my locker, leave it there until the end of the day. So like, if I had 5 kids, each kid spending whatever, but if off each kid, if I made anywhere from like 20 to $50 profit, I would make like 200, 300, in some cases $500 every Friday. So that was nice for me. I'm 16, 17, 18. That's what I was doing. And I was still, pushing weed on the side. And there's other kinds of services, I could get for people. But like, just off the liquor alone, I was doing pretty good. And like, once Friday came, classes were ended, or if we had like, Friday off and it was Thursday I do it. Once school's out, once school's out, everybody would meet up with me somewhere on campus where nobody could see, and I, just, give whatever who bought what, give it, whatever you ordered, I'll have your order ready for you. And since you're not from my area, I didn't really worry too much or care too much if you got fucked up that weekend, you got drunk, whatever, because I wasn't there. I'm not in your neighborhood. You can't go back and blame me. You could say whatever you want, but no one ever did. So I really didn't care. It was like easy, clean money for me, And over the weekend, I'd do my thing. During the week, I would, sell weed. During class, you got these kids who got free periods, they want to smoke, so there's like 3 of them that get together and they buy a double off you. So sometimes they don't have all the 20, but usually they have the money. But sometimes you give them a dub for like 18, whatever, because they want to get Dutch. So like, I don't get 18, you're like, all right, whatever. Sometimes you smoke with them, whatever. So that's what I was doing in high school. I was moving alcohol, I had some weed. And if I didn't have something, or if I didn't want to sell it, I would, get it off somebody quick and make a move. Like if you wanted, for example, like Coke or whatever, I know who had it. I go get it and just charge you like an extra few bucks on top, After high school, once I graduated, that summer I graduated, I was working as a doorman in the city, but then I was living in Jersey already at this time. So in Jersey, I was getting still booze for the kids in the area. I was moving some bud, and then later on, we got heavy into the gambling. Like, we would be gambling all the time. Either we would be at somebody's house, or I would have places, or we'd go to the craziest places. Like, sometimes I would hear about a game, and, like, if you're playing with people you're playing at somebody's house, or you're playing at the park, or we get invited somewhere. I would get invited all kinds of places all over New Jersey. We go to, like, a youth center after they close it down for the night. Somebody running the place has the key, let us in. We'd have a poker tournament, or some other place. They had like, some places have fully stocked bars, you know what I mean? Or you bring in your own thing. So we'd be sitting there and I'll be like 18, 19, 20 and I'm playing with grown ass men, Like I'm not old enough to go to the casino, but I'm like in this underground poker thing, playing $50, $100, $200 buy-in, and I'm taking it down in some cases. Some nights I took it down and I walk away with the whole pot. So it was good sometimes. Sometimes you walk in, you lose your $50, $100 real quick, and then depending on how you got there, you might be stuck there all night because the person who drove is still playing. So now you going to the bar and that's it. But it was the alcohol, it was the bud, it was the gambling. I never really dabbled too much in the other stuff. But then later on, like, I got arrested in Jersey. And that became like a big thing. Even though I got arrested for something small, like the police had it out for me for a long time. Like they were hearing rumors that like, this guy, like he does more. He's into a lot of different things. So like they were watching me. Like I'd leave my house, walk to the train to get to New York, right? And they'd be following me and shit. Like I would even, I know they're following me, so they pull up close and they look at me and I'm like, listen, if you're going to follow me, at least give me a ride to the train station, but they're not going to give me a ride. But like I had to, they were watching me, so I had to calm down for a little bit. So for a while I wasn't doing nothing. I was just going to school and this and that. But like there was a time where like I got myself into trouble so many times. I got I got depressed, and like, cause I wasn't making money like I used to. I wasn't like really making money. I wasn't living that lifestyle like I was, going out every night doing this and that. I would get depressed. You know, a lot of people didn't hit me up anymore. I didn't have nobody really to hang out with. I was by myself a lot of the time. That's when I started really messing around with the harder drugs. I started fucking with that dope. I had a friend of mine, you know, like we was at this Pizza Hut. He just came back. He had a few bags on him. I'm like, yo, let me try it. He gave it to me. The first time I ever did that shit, it's like the greatest feeling in the world, yo. It's like, it really is. Even though that shit, like, at 30 years old, I see, like, what that shit could do to you, what it does to you, like, what's the ultimately, like, what the run is gonna be like. But when you're that young and you try it, it's like, it's nothing better than that, you know? But, so I did that, and I was hooked instantly, so I would be doing it a lot. For like 10 years, I would be sniffing it. It wasn't until I met my girlfriend that I started actually shooting it, you know? She showed me how to do it. I was always stayed away from the needles, but after, you know, being with her, I didn't look at it as the same. It didn't have the same stigma. It was just like another thing, like sniffing the bag, shooting the bag was the same thing, you know? I'd always get a fresh bag of work, you know. I would always have fresh spring water. I had the peroxide, rubbing alcohol. I clean everything down, wipe everything down, so I was okay. But like now it's getting to the point where I think I got like collapsed veins and I can't even find a decent one to use, you know, to draw the blood. So like I'm cutting back and I'm taking this sobriety shit more serious. Cause like I don't want to keep doing this. It's no more fun. It's not no fun in this. It's like I was doing it, you know, this year just to not get sick. Cause getting sick, it sucks. It's really really bad getting sick. You get sick, it's the worst feeling. You got like sweats, you got chills, you got, it's so bad, you know. Whether you do, it's like the best. You don't want to be detoxing in like a jail. You want to be at home, even in the hospital. It sucks sometimes because the beds suck and you're around people you don't want to be around, and you can't do everything you want to do. You don't got your phone, your TV sucks, whatever. So at home is if you're gonna do it at home, because dope is one of the only things you could detox from safely and not die from. If you're gonna detox from alcohol, those withdrawals can be really bad. They can kill you. It's no joke. You know, some people get so dependent on it that withdrawals can kill you. So you gotta be honest with yourself and aware what it is your situation is like, you know. But, you know, for a while, like I was saying, like I was making, that's how I was making my money. Then I got a legitimate job. I was working as a doorman for a little bit. I was going to school, but I ended up leaving the doorman job because the schedule they gave me was from like midnight to 8, and they couldn't give me another schedule. So all the good schedules were during the day, and I had class during the day, so I ended up leaving that job. Then later in Jersey, one of my jobs when I worked at Dunkin' Donuts. It was a pretty good job. You know, you just manage Dunkin' Donuts, like just make sure the coffee's full, decaf regular, you make sure like the creamers, the milk is there, you stock the fridge, whatever, the donuts, bagels, you know, you fill people's orders. And like the end of the night, you throw everything out, but I'll keep everything. I keep all the donuts, all the bagels, bring them home, bring them to other people, whatever. You know, another thing we used to do with the Dunkin' Donuts is like back then a medium cup of coffee was $2.02. So if somebody came in and ordered a medium cup of coffee, we knew the cameras didn't work right. So what we would do is we wouldn't even put it in the register. We'd just throw the money straight in the tip jar. And at the end of the night, I split it with like one or two other people sometimes. I'm still walking away with like $50, $60. I would always keep, you know, a little extra for myself because I'm the one doing the work. Can't make it too suspicious. So that's what I was doing at Dunkin' Donuts. Later on, I got a job in like landscape and construction. I was doing a job in construction where we did demolition. We knocked down old houses, and I get to keep whatever I find in there. And I found a lot of cool stuff like sport cards, tools, fire extinguishers, scrap metal, whatever. So I'd always get paid for what I did. The work you do is a workout in itself, so you get paid to like exercise. And on top of that, I get to keep whatever I find, which I would sell either on eBay, Craigslist, or at the flea market. So I was making pretty good money for my age considering. But the truth is, it's like, fuck all that shit. You should just stay in school, get some kind of education in the field and being expert in that field. So this way you can walk away with like a six-figure, seven-figure salary. Because when you're 30, 40 years old, that's what matters. Because I'm 30 years old, I'm not making anything at all. I wanna, I wanna go back to work, but like I can't be. I'm not going. I don't want to go back to no laboring shit. Like my body's shot. Everything hurts. It's gonna be a long time before I'm able to do something like that again. I used to work in the furniture. I used to work in the furniture company where I had to. It was corporate furniture. It was like office stuff. So like some of that stuff is heavy, but like the work itself is tedious because like you're all day on your knees, you're all day on your back, all day like carrying shit. So like it's gonna take it out of you. I need to find a job where I'm applying my mind rather than my body. You know, I'm looking out there, find something based on everything I've done in my life, based on all the skills I've acquired. Even though I did what I've done so far, I still have a college education. I have a degree. I have certificates in that, and this and that, whatever. But I have a criminal record, so that's kind of negates the whole education, everything I've gotten. Nobody's gonna hire me because based on my criminal record, with drugs and other kinds of charges. But I'm still looking, still hoping and praying I'm gonna find something soon. 'Cause God will provide, God will take care. I believe that. So, I just wanted just to say that to you, let people know what I have in my mind right now today. Just let people know, just get it out there. I'm planning on making another video a little later on today because I'm so bored. I just I don't know what else I'm gonna be really doing. I'm supposed to be looking for a place to go to, like sober living or like a halfway house, but I don't fully understand how that works. So I'm looking into that. I'm doing research. I have a meeting with a counselor this Tuesday. I gotta pay the court some money tomorrow. I gotta call the probation lady, let her know what my plan is, and I gotta make some moves because these people's generosity is gonna run out. I gotta do something soon. But that's where I'm at today. So if you're a smart person, you don't want to end up in a situation like mine, and you have an opportunity to do something, take it. It's not gonna always be there. One day you're gonna wake up. You're 18, 19 now, but you'll be 30 years old, 40 years old one day, and all that shit. Time flies. Time flies fast. And those 10 years since I had the chance, I didn't do one good thing. Maybe I learned some stuff, but I don't have anything I could really take from that's positive. Except I learned my lesson. So yo, this is the Almighty Spooncooker. You know, just letting you know what it is. I'll talk to y'all later.